Hey guys, welcome to my craft room. Today we are going to be making this Kurt Geiger inspired clutch gift box. So I printed this image on the Koala Glossy 8.5 by 11 sticker paper, and I used my Epson ET 15,000 to print this because I just needed to use it. Usually I'm using my 8550, but it's only 8.5 by 11, so I was like, why not? So you're gonna be getting a front, a back, two sides, and a bottom. For this one, I do not have an inside, but if you want to do an inside for your box, all you have to do is maybe copy this, delete this, and then you'll have both inside and front back, but this one was a little bit unnecessary. This bag isn't super big, so it wasn't anything that I felt the need to do. We are going to be needing double-sided adhesive, metal ruler, of course your X-Acto blade. If you are using a box cutter, that's fine as well. I just find it a little bit more easier to maneuver with an X-Acto blade. And of course I have my extra blades because, child, let me tell you, this I'm sure is dull to the max. So I always make sure to get those extra smooth cuts by making sure that I keep extra blades on deck. Of course, you're going to be needing your glue gun with glue sticks. You're going to be needing your acetate, and last but not least, your handy dandy foam board. So let me fix everything up on here first so we can get to creating this box. It is super easy to do. This is going to be a trifold method. And for this one, I don't even know if you can do quad fold, but what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take away the extra white pieces that's on here. Hell, one side is higher than the other side, so we're just going to do it like this. I'm definitely going to have to fix that in the template before I list it. That way it's easy and convenient for you to just go straight across. Now, this doesn't have to be perfect right now. I'm just trying to get rid of the majority of the white because I like to save. Oh, no, this you definitely do have to do the sides because it is trifold. But usually I just cut in order to save some white, to save as much foam board as I can. I have so many scrap pieces of foam board, it's wild. If you know me, you know I love a good trifold. It's just very easy and convenient to do and to put together. You don't have to do a lot of piecing, but sometimes you just want things to look nice and clean and not see that foam board from the side. And that's why I started doing some of my images where you do have to kind of piece together. Okay, now we just got to do the bottom. Okay, so now we're just going to put this over here. Get our little foam board. Listen, I went to Walmart and I got every single piece of foam board that they had because for the past couple of weeks they have not had any. But I bet you I will not run out for a minute, especially because right now I'm not bombarded with any type of gift box requests. So I should be good for a minute. So please always make sure to remove this little paper. And so now we're just gonna place these on here. So we're going to do center, front image center, and then we're going to have these like this on the side. So for this one, you can't do any kind of quad fold or anything because this is wide and you don't have clearly enough space. But this is okay. We can do like this. I'm gonna do the center first. And I'm just leaving that there as a guide so I know where to put my center image. And then we're going to peel the back and smooth that down. So now we're going to take our side and I'm going to peel the right side. Because just like we do our phone board, our vending machines and ATMs, we want it close together but not touching. So as close together as possible, but it doesn't need to fully touch because you want to have that line right there in order to, what do they call it? Line of demarcation? I think that's what they call it. Child, tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. But, and that's so that you know where you have a guide on where to cut. So we're going to do the same thing over here. We are just going to do the opposite side. We're going to do the left instead of the right. Listen, I've designed this clutch purse maybe like 2 years ago, and it definitely hasn't been something that I have been putting out like that. Like I have it in my store and all of that, but it's just been sitting there. And I love me a good Kurt Geiger, so I was like, girl, why not? You know, especially because this year I feel like people have been into the clutch, and so that's really making me put it out there. So now we're just gonna put this right here. Now for the back of the purse, we're gonna make sure that we leave space on the sides because we are going to measure it before we actually glue it down, because we want to be able to cover the width of the foam. So we're not going to cut this out exact, but when we put it down, we could just put it down. Smooth that out. If you're looking for like a more glossy type of effect, you can laminate. You can use printable vinyl, the sticker vinyl. Oh my gosh, the gloss on sticker vinyl is just unbelievable. But I'm like, this is a mock-up, so ain't nobody about to do all that. And this paper is good. And boom, just like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut from here to here, and then we're just going to cut this out. Remember, leaving that space on the sides just in case we need to cover that foam board, and this can be cut out regular. Ooh. I like to give myself space, but ain't enough space. So as long as your blade is sharp and you have your ruler, you should be good to go. See how smooth that is? That's definitely what you want to feel when you're cutting out your box. And I always maneuver my boxes because I love for the ruler to be on top of the design. That way I don't have any accidents. Because sometimes my hands and eyes have a mind of their own, and I always just go to the side, go to the left, go to the right. But this is how it's going to look when you cut that part out. Now let me just cut this part out, and then we can concentrate more on cutting that out. What I appreciate about this clutch design that I did just this clutch one, is that it's so simple but yet cute, because we don't have a lot going on, so it's a little easier to cut out versus having to cut, all extravagant flower, go around the flowers and all of that. Oh no, I told myself, child, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I said I wasn't. Okay, we're just gonna leave that right there. I was not supposed to do that, and I ended up doing it. That's okay though. I was supposed to leave a little bit on the side to cover the side of the foam, and I did not end up doing that. And I've been singing that this whole time. Have I not? Have I not? Whew. It happens like that sometimes. So.
Look at me, Julia. You're so cute. Wow. Julia, look. Wow, that's so cool. Julia.
So we're just gonna take our time and cut this stuff out.
Julia, look. Yeah, no, it's so cool.
And then when it comes to this curve, like I said before, you're just going to take your time and go around. Making sure to add enough pressure so that the blade is penetrating the back as well. Just like that. Now, if you have OCD and you see this white right here, you can easily just flip it around and clean that up like this. So that's always not a big deal to me because, boom. So here, you can either use your ruler for the straight lines, or you can just take your time and glide that like that, because it's not that big of a piece. Now, I don't care if you're in the middle of a cut. If you feel like your blade is fighting you, that means you need to change it. So stop what you're doing and change that blade. And boom, just like that. Now let me see, I might have to go through and trim some of that white. Okay, there we go. So now I'm just going to take my ruler, and I'm going to definitely use it for this part because I don't want no mistakes. And then we're gonna pop that out like, well, number one, we're gonna flip it over and make sure that our lines went through. Our cuts, I mean. And boom, just like that. How cute. And those lines are so clean, like, you know. Okay, so let's tackle this little part right here before we get to placing that acetate, because we definitely can just cut this off. I'm going to leave that side because at least we'll have one side. And then do the sides. Take this up. And then take your time again and go around. Let's flip it. And then now we can take our time and cut this. And guess what? We are almost done, because as always, the easiest part is gluing and the tedious part is the cutting. But this was super fast. Like I said, these clutches go really fast. Okay, so boom. But now we gotta clean this little part up. Just like that. So usually what I do for my acetate, I take the part that I cut out and I get my acetate. I'm obsessed with it being straight, cutting straight, so I do this. And of course you have to leave an edge, a good amount of edge on there so that you can place the double-sided adhesive. So I'm gonna go with this little line right here. And I'm just going to trim that. And then I have it up here, but I don't need it that high. So let's go like in the middle of that, in the middle of this. Let me see. Because I don't want it to be too much, but I don't want it to be, you know, not too much. I don't want the acetate protruding over the box. Because this box is, oh, see what I'm saying? This is why I do what I do. Because I already know how my hands work. Let me just cut this part off, because that's unnecessary. And then now we're gonna, that's ready to be discarded. We're gonna take our acetate and our double-sided adhesive. And I'm just gonna place the adhesive on top like this. Let's smooth that down. Get our box, flip it over. Let's make sure that everything is good. And it is. So we're just going to take off the protective coverings. And then be sure to put it down slowly, because once it's stuck, and let me tell you, you cannot lift it up without having to ruin the box. So now I'm going to take my ruler and I am just going to go close to that little line of demarcation, you know, that little guide, and we're just going to slightly go over it like this because we're scoring. We don't want it to go all the way through because we don't want it to separate. However, let me just say this, if it separates, it's not the end of the world. The box is not ruined. You're just going to have to piece it together, and that also is fine. So now that that's done, I'm just going to plop it like that, and then it creates this little, you know, whatever you call that. Always, always, always measure, no matter what, to make sure that everything is good. Because sometimes, depending on how wide your image, how wide you make your your little line, you know, close together, your little line of demarcation. If you put it wide, the bottom is not gonna fit. If you put it too close, the bottom is not gonna fit. So you have, that's why I say close together but not touching. That way it's like this. This is what you want. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue this on here. Now I'm only gonna glue one side and the front. I'm not gonna glue the whole thing yet, because that way I have a little bit of a control over the glue and it's not all crazy wild. And I just want to get this, and you know, check this out really quick, because I can still use this even though my little lines is not like super perfect, and that's why I wanted white on both sides, because this would have been in the middle. But this is going to be a little bit over, but this canvas doesn't mock up and nobody will know unless you tell them. So we just go, you know. So now let's take our glue gun and we are going to glue one side and the front. These little purses, they're just so cute for whatever occasion, whether it's Mother's Day, graduation, birthday, anniversary. Like, you know, they're just so chic, sleek, and they definitely make a really good gift holder. And then you want to push in here just to make sure that the glue is sticking to the foam board. And then we're going to do the same thing to this side. So we're just going to and then I'm going to push just like so. And I do that lifting just to make sure that it's not stuck to the bottom, you know. And so this is how it looks. Let me give you guys a better, okay, so this is what it looks like. And we're gonna take that and we're gonna take this, put that on there, and you see that all that white on this side, and that's because it's supposed to be even. But child, I done messed up and, you know, dropped the ball for that one side, but that's okay. I'm going to still glue it like this because I want it to be even in the middle. But usually you will have this white that's over here, and it's not gonna mess up the design or anything because the foam board is white anyway, and that's gonna show. So this is just gonna make sure that you have coverage over here and that the back is sitting on top of that little edge right there to make it easier to glue. But I'm just gonna do it like this, and I'm going to need to trim it a little bit. So I'm gonna lay it flat, and then I'm gonna take a pencil and mark it. If you done messed up and did too much or not enough. So up here, and then let's mark it down there, and then get to trimming it.
Hey, Mom.
Hey,
We're back.
I see.
Mom, look, I got L.
Okay, so now we're gonna lay this down, and then we're just gonna take our glue.
Let me say you're happy, happy.
Why are you watching it? I know. What?
Let's press it down. Take a piece of scrap, because you see that glue protruding out, oozing out, and we're just gonna do like this.
Mommy, here.
Noah, where's your case? Go get your case now. And boom, this is how it looks. And then we're gonna go in here, and then we're just gonna seal those corners in. Oh, I didn't even see that, but just the back and the bottoms. Child, why I didn't do the front and sides. But boom, and that is it. Super cute, right?
Here.
Thank you so much for watching.
Here.
And until next time,
Here, Mommy.
happy crafting.
Here, Mommy. Here, Mommy.